Hello guys, welcome back to another live stream of GoldRush the Game hard mode. As you can see, I haven't quite finished in the hog pan yet, though I have got quite a decent chunk torn out of it. I didn't realise it was so neat, so straight. But hey, I still got quite a lot left to go actually. I logged on earlier. When I logged into the game, this was on sale, the table here, so I went ahead and I grabbed it while it was cheaper. And I'm going to be running a little bit of a test later when it's time to clean out the gold, because I thought I was onto something. It looked like if I was to pour these buckets into here and keep digging on top of it, at first it looked like all the different gold totals would add up together in a single bucket. But after 10, 9, 10, 11, something like that buckets worth, I actually got a really disappointing clean out. So it could be a number of things. It could be I poured some away without realising it over there. It could be I was in a really bad section of this hog pan, or it could be simply that you lose gold. So I will be doing like a little test on here later, now that I've actually got the wave table. I'll do the buckets individually, catch the total, and load it up afterwards, and then combine them all into one bucket and then wash it through. Or maybe I'll do the reverse. That way, if I do lose gold in the all-in-one bucket, then the second one done is the one we would keep. Mondre, hello. Run one solo to have a starting bucket. What do you mean run one solo? Oh, do you mean like to work out what I get per bucket? Oh no, I'm just gonna gauge the difference between all of them mashed together and all of them separately. See what the overall total is. Hello Spy, welcome. I didn't say anything. Sorry guys, 1 second. Sorry about that. The Pregnator, hello. Do you know what, Pregnator? You're not the only one. Spy's playing along. Mondre's playing along. Who else was it? Someone else said. I think Azad said he'd do it as well. It's just a fresh challenge. Although, I must admit, Mondre, from what you said in the Discord, you're going for a harder challenge than I will. I'm going to get the workers. I'm going to be using the workers. Mondre here said he's not going to use them. I think I'll run my test when I got 5 buckets. That's a nice round number. I wish you all the best of luck if you do decide to do it, dude. Getting past the hog pan's the hardest part. It's the most tedious. Even if you enjoy the grind, I mean, if you play GoldRush, you enjoy the grind anyway. But the hog pan kind of gets a bit much after a little while. But the concept of the challenge is what's keeping me going on this one. I mean, I have dug out the whole hog pan before, but that was with a normal game with nuggets involved. Yeah? Well, I'm getting dirt that isn't even there. Look at that, look. Yeah, go me. Who needs to run around like a headless chicken? I do. I'm going to use that under the ground dirt for emergency purposes. Didn't quite get enough of what I needed. I need more before I can leave. Otherwise, I've got to try and set all this up down on the wash plant area and start shovel digging the actual claim. Now that would be a challenge. Oh my god, could you imagine that? Trying to dig out the claim with a shovel. The whole claim. That would be... oh my god. I don't even think I could go through that with normal mode. Well, let alone hard. Hey, Mr. Gamer. Oh, I know it will. I know that dirt will be gone after a while. But that sort of dirt under there is all over the main claim as well. It's just that we dig so deeply, so thoroughly using an excavator or the front end loader that we pick it all up anyway. It's bedrock gold or dirt. Can I do this before we run out of water? I don't think so. I think the water's going to beat the mats. Or the fuel's going to beat the mats. Yeah. Oh, it's actually dropped down now though. As you can see, I'm trying to get round the corner here. I'd say I'm almost halfway on the map, on the hog pan. I reckon though, some of my best gold will be over here. Because it's all sloping downhill. And that could explain why I didn't get such a fantastic clean out when I did, if the test results equal the same. Hopefully. I looked at the prices I'm going to need, or the prices of the things I'm going to need, and I'm going to be doing it slightly different than you guys. I might need a little more than 30,000. Of course we're going to have to pay the rental game, but I'm going to be renting the big excavator. I'm going to be renting a dump truck. I'm going to have to buy 2 mobile wash plants. I'm going to be renting a fuel tank, a big one, and a power generator. Obviously I'm going to have to buy a water tank. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might end up for a while driving it back to town to get water. Hey Grinder, how you doing, dude? Whilst we're early in the stream, I would just like to remind people That next week my streaming schedule will be changing. Instead of doing Monday, Tuesday on the co-op game, then a day off, and then my 3-day solo, it will be from next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is my 3-day solo, then a day off on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday will be the co-op game. So that does mean that you got me on GoldRush for 3 days, today, tomorrow, Saturday. Then I'll take a day off, and then I'll be back again on Monday with it. So this is to accommodate a couple of people. Well, actually, to be honest, it doesn't matter to me. I stream on, you know, the only day that is gonna change differently in terms of my time off would be the Thursday, and that's fine. It doesn't matter to me so much, but it suits on the co-op side of things all 3 of the people that I play with on and off. So that would be Ranty, Celestro and Mr. Gamer. All 3 of them, it makes it easier for them to join in on a Friday and Saturday. Not much, just watching some good old hard mode. Right, Grinder, I want your opinion on something that I've tried in the past. I don't know if I'm going to try it in this. So on a normal game, just messing around, not even on stream. I can't remember if I did it on stream or not actually, but I've put a wash plant here, a mobile wash plant, and I had it lined up with the bucket and with the conveyor belt and the hopper, right? So the bucket's dumped into the wash plant. Now, I mean, I have to remove, from what happened last time, it filled up way too quickly, so I'd have to remove the 4 buckets. But it constantly pops up saying incomplete wash plant. But it's I like the concept of it. I was wondering what other people think. It's difficult to set up actually. You have to be really precise with the wash plant, with the mobile wash plant to do it. But as somebody who tends to dominate on the leaderboards, I was wondering what you thought of it. Hey, me, Indy and Spy are doing it at the same time. He's sitting here waiting for them to catch up. Do you know what? Look, feel free to pull on her head a little bit. Okay? You don't have to wait for me. You know, it's going to be a slow process no matter what part of it we're on. So if you want to move ahead a bit, you can. Feel free. Absolutely, Spy. It's all good, dude. I have tried it once, like I said, but literally a message would pop up saying incomplete wash plant, and then as soon as the message disappears or begins to disappear, it will pop it up again, and it's a constant cycle. So I'm actually wondering if we turned off that, would it stop that message? Oh, it's snowing? Really? On day 6 of spring? Alright, well, it's up to you, dude. But I'm going to be trying to do my other setup for the tier 2. The other thing I normally, my more common approach to it. Sometimes I'll drag it around with me, you know, as normal, but more often than not, I do this. I set 2 wash plants here back to back, or you know, the bars to bars. Lock them in place, you know, lock them up with the pipes and everything. Then I'll have the mobile, the big power generator and big fuel tank over here as well for them. I'd have to have water from a mobile source, of course, but then I'll just fill up a dump truck, drive it up, back it up to them and slowly tip it in. That is the way I like to do it more often than not, and that's the way I'm going to be trying to do it this time round when I get there. Which is why it's going to cost me a little bit more than 30k to get going. And depending on the test of these 5 buckets on the way up, whether or not we lose gold or not will determine how often I run stuff through, or you know, whether I do 1 bucket that's compressed, or if I sit there and wash them all together at the end, one at a time. It's just a time saver if it works. The only issue with turning that system off is it won't tell you, like, yeah, when the buckets are full, or mats are full, things like that. You could end up potentially, if you don't pay attention, losing so much dirt. Time to start digging some dirt with this tiny shovel. Good luck, dude. It's a shame we can't go army style. Can you imagine having to dig out the whole hog pan using this thing? Anyone who's playing along or playing just for themselves, best of luck to any and all of you. It changes up the game a bit. It gives it a whole new purpose for a little while. I keep meaning to pass on the idea of the potential GoldRush 2 that I had. I think it would be a winner if they did it. I think it would really would. The dredging version. I mean, they could implement it into the claims they got now, to be honest, if they added in the right coding for it, because of the steep slope down into the bedrock. But the thing is, they'd have to reintroduce tailings into the game. I think that would be the biggest issue, or one of the biggest issues. That and well, I suppose maybe not quite so much to add in a flooding of an area, because you can fill up buckets. Did I ever tell you that idea, Monday? Yeah, that's a good point, dude. That's a good point. They could always introduce something into leaderboards. Grinder may have heard my ideas during a leaderboard. sure. I know Spy has heard it. I had an idea of how they could create a GoldRush 2 for dredging, using the current kind of setups with the claims. Did you ever hear any of that during leaderboards whenever I've come out with the ideas? And nice to know you weren't listening to me. Thanks for that. No? Alright, hold on. So you start up, they'd have to widen the rivers up here, for example, and you start up doing one of those little portable floating dredges, like in Whitewater. GoldRush Whitewater. And you'd get your starting funds down in the river down here, yeah? That's how you do it. No hog pan, just have the big, or a pond or something, just dredging it that way. Then with that funding, this would not be needed here, up here. But you would dig out a section of the claim, right? Possibly dump it back there so you don't lose the gold. But what you need is that big dip down into the bedrock. So, you know, just so you got that big, so you can flood the area basically without it flowing back up that way. But before you flood it, you can buy sections of dredge pontoons. Now you'd need like a minimum size to fit a wash plant on, which can go in multiple tiers as well. But the idea being that you can adjust, make your own shape out of the pontoons that could potentially allow you more maneuverability or more power and things like that. So once you set up your wash plant using your, you know, the normal build method, it's like a snap to with the pontoons and everything. Then you got like a set bit in the middle that the wash plant has to sit on though. Then you flood the area, and then you literally just start dredging as you go along, and then of course the tailings pile in behind you, moving the water forwards, keeping you afloat. You can upgrade the wash plant system itself as you can normally with different parts. I think that would be a really, really, really good idea for like a GoldRush 2. Hell, they could even keep the same claims and it would still be a winner in my eyes. I would play that game non-stop. More than this, I think. And that's saying something. Yeah, I mean, it's the next logical step as well. Especially as... Wait. Does anyone care about spoilers in the current ongoing GoldRush TV show? The season that we're in at the moment. Just a single spoiler. Don't mind. Nope. Go for it. Nope. Alright, cool. Once again, Oh yeah, well maybe not even then though. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But about claim size. But once again, Tony Beats has been denied his Indian River water license. He said he got all of his machines over there ready on the day, ready for like the day before the call was due, so he can make the call and find out. And then he got denied. So if Code Horizon were to get this a base concept for the game up and ready for, like, they'd have to push hard, but if they were to get it all set up and ready for Tony Beats to actually get his Indian River license on the TV show, that coinciding with it would give them a big boost in ratings on the game. I'd have at least a year, assuming of course they know what's happening ahead of time, but they at least have a year to get a basic game model out there. Hell, to be honest, if I had the money, I would offer them a Kickstarter, like an advanced Kickstarter amount to get the game up and running. I would. I wouldn't even care whether. Oh well, actually, I'm about to say I wouldn't even care whether or not I get any credit for that side of things. But having said that, if I gave them like a chunk of Kickstarter at the beginning, they'll get advanced copies of the game as it develops, wouldn't they? I need to talk to them. I keep forgetting to contact them. But even when I do, I need to find a way to articulate what I'm saying, because it's a bit difficult. I'd have to take screenshots, of course, of like say Pine Valley Pine Valley dugout, and you've got that big dip. And I think if with the river dredging, they might have to give you different variations of that as well. An option to give yourself a bigger engine with more fuel capacity or stronger power. But you have to start off with like this would be the equivalent to the first one. It's really slow, really minimal, like this, what we're doing here. Then the next tier of river dredging might be halfway between this kind of power and a tier 2, or maybe a tier 2 with a small excavator, and then the tier 3 river dredging would be the highest one, and that would be like a mobile one with a big excavator. Say, yeah, no. I get that. I know I could turn around and say to them, add dredging. But I mean adding a concept to it for them. Next Games does that with The Walking Dead. Add content from the upcoming episode and then launch it the day after the episode. That's nice. That is cool. Yeah, with this current game or a new GoldRush 2, there is so much potential to move forward. There is. There really, really is. And I think the reason they wanted to move on was this was a lot of hassle for them. And they quite possibly had like Discovery breathing down their necks. And then they went ahead and did Diesel Brothers, which flopped, didn't it? I got a copy of it and I didn't like it. I like Car Mechanic Simulator. Didn't like Diesel Brothers. No, not quite, old man. I didn't register it was you that said that. Sorry, dude. Welcome. We're talking about potential updates for like a GoldRush 2 game or something, like dredging style. Bigger hoses, start off with a 3-inch nozzle. Yeah. I mean, they could add that into the model. Like the river dredging ones would be a static model. No, not actually. Start again. Not actually able to interchange parts unless it's like changing that out for the stronger version. or the more hard-wearing version, you know. All four mats can go into one bucket, but on the sluice runs, one mat per bucket, if I recall correctly. The big sluice runs. No, it's all good, dude. It's all good. But I would love... I mean, that would give you a whole new leaderboard as well. A whole new meaning to leaderboards. Because you would be free building the base of the big dredge, right? And the way you design it... like... How can I put this? Right, so the central piece that has to have the wash plant on it would be a square, right? And if you just tried simply to run it off of that, you would be saving a lot of money, but your maneuverability would be complete bollocks. So you add a little triangle cone at the front, maybe a little extension off the back for a better rudder engine, or rudder and engine, and maybe some pontoons on the side that are slightly extended out for maneuverability. That will give you a little bit more oomph with your pushing into the dirt and able to turn a little more freely. It is. I agree, dude. I agree. It does feel a little weird. It did feel a little weird going back to the hog pan. I mean, in the leaderboards, hell, even in normal game mode now, if nuggets are on, you don't even need to pack. I mean, you can literally dig 3 buckets, then rent a drill, and then that's it. Next thing you know, you've got tier 5. Yeah, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Look, there are several people in the chat right now that are either playing hard mode or waiting for me to catch up with them in the hard mode. If you wish to participate in the, I don't know, what do you call it, friendly competition side of it, or the play along or whatever, feel free to join the Discord. There's a link in the description below. You know, discuss methods, post up screenshots, you know, show off how much you managed to do in a day, whatever you want. I am definitely enjoying the most recent increased activity on there. It only counts if you reset all seasons at one time. Ah, misclick. Damn it. Get that back. What only counts? Right, so how many have I got so far? 4 buckets. So when this one's full, I'm going to run that little test and see if I'm actually losing, if I was actually losing gold yesterday, or if I just had a bad run of luck. And that's up to you, dude. And I you know, I appreciate the waiting. but you don't have to. To be honest, dude, you may end up falling behind later on because you're not going for staff. Oh, I see. Yes and no. It's highly unlikely I'll be able to, but if I can, I will do my best to skip Riverview. I cannot stand that claim. I hate it with a passion. Like I said, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to be able to, but I will try my best. For a moment then, I had to stop and read up chat, because for a moment then I thought you, Mondre, that you were saying that you are actually Grinder under a different name. Rivertown. I said Riverview, didn't I? I dislike it to the point that I don't. If I can. On a leaderboard, if they start us off in there, I will stay in the hog pan long enough to rent old Arnold instead of for $5,000 instead of doing any drilling on river. That's how much I hate that landscape. If anything, it's worth doing old Arnold over and over rather than going to Riverview. But having said that, because I normally skip River, again I keep saying Riverview, I'm sorry. Because I keep skipping River, I've never actually gotten that achievement, dig however much of all claims. So maybe I should try and push through. But if I'm able to, maybe skip River the second time over. Think that's fair to say? You would rather eat escargot than dig there. Than want to dig there. There is one good thing about this game mode though, Spy. Because we have to go through tier 3, we get to show off the jigs, the jig skins. And maybe any others that you might have. Right. Save game. Let's do this test. So I'm currently sitting at 0 gold. Is that done? Yep. Which one has the water? That one. I mean, this will help if this works. If this is the same amount each time, or both times, then if you're doing this and you're still hogging it, like hog panning it, easiest way of doing it. I didn't mean to do that. That was my bad. I misclicked. Oops. I wasn't paying attention. Hold on, let me load that up again, because otherwise it might be... I don't know how much of an invalid test it would result in. I can't believe I just did that. Right, let's chuck all these in again. Right, that's the last of it. That was a good catch, you have to admit. Oops, indeed. Right. That's not in the books. That's not what you're supposed to do. Not in the script. I mean, that was 5 buckets compressed into one, averaging normally about just over 0.5 ounces a bucket. Oh, actually, that was a lot more than expected. I must have hit a hot spot. Or maybe it just washes it better. I don't know. So 4.79. See if I get the same. Five cleanouts, 5 buckets. Moment of truth. Okay, so you lose some gold. Wow, I lost about an ounce. Just over. Okay. The concept was sound. The execution, not so much. It was a good concept. It just, if you pardon the pun, didn't pan out. You may groan now. You may groan at that joke. Go ahead. It's all good. So when I did like 10 buckets, give or take a bucket yesterday, I lost a lot. I mean, I had a smaller clean out than that. And oh, do you know what? I know why I lost so much gold yesterday. Why it was so much smaller. Because what I'd been doing, right, so I'd fill up a bucket, right? I'd fill up the mats. I'd dunk them in a bucket. Then I'd pour that bucket in and then dig on top of it. And each time I'm losing more and more from the ones at the beginning. So I made a big mistake trying that. I thought I was onto something. I really did. That is 0.958 per bucket. No. I got 5 buckets and I got over an ounce per bucket. I got almost 1.2 ounces per bucket. I was like 0.2 ounces shy of 1.2 per bucket. Oh, when they were all together. Well, I don't know. Every 2 buckets, just run them through the machine. In fact, so that I don't have to stop digging whilst they're processing, I did pick up a second hose. Didn't pan out. Whoa, haha, comic genius. Oh dear. So it's highly possible then that if I continue washing the buckets in there one at a time, I might have enough for what I need by the time I'm done here. I've wasted a huge amount of gold, and I'm not happy about that, but there's nothing I can do. It is what it is. It was a good idea. And it's quite possible it used to work. But then the devs realised that what people were doing, and it's like, no, you've got to do this long term. This is a grind. You're not allowed to make it easier on yourself. It's a big shame as well that they're not making this multiplayer. Not just because, you know, easier digging, but say they made this. Hold on. Did I turn? Yes, I did. So say they made this multiplayer, right? I reckon if they made it multiplayer, if you're playing in a multiplayer game, tailings would be on. They should reintroduce tailings just for multiplayer, right? Then what you could do is one person digs up gold, brings it over here and puts it in a pay pile. And back and forth, back and forth. Then you've got a person here who'll scoop it up, bring it round up here, dump it into the plant. But then has to come round, grab a scoop of tailings and drag it off over there and dump it in an area that would delete the tailings as well. That would be cool. That'll be a bit more apt to the game as well, to the TV show as well. That way, if they were to introduce it, it wouldn't be overpowered on the claims, because otherwise you could have one person just filling up about 5 dump trucks, whilst the other one's just back and forth delivering them. But like I said, it's not that they're ever going to do it. They don't want to do a rewrite from the code upwards. Bit premature there. I swear that never happens. So if... oh my god, I did it again. If they added something new to the game or changed something about the game, what do you guys want to see? Or what would you like to see in a second one instead? I like the idea of maybe adding in... it's not... well, it's sort of like a mobile wash plant, but at the same time it's not. It's like a complete wash plant, like Slucifer or Big Red. One that you have to drag along the ground. But that would cause a whole new level of issues. Because you can't even... say your what's it called? Front end loader is stuck down there on that steepest slope bit at the beginning, and you can't back up. It's too steep. Right? I've tried before bringing my excavator over, hooking up a chain between my excavator bucket and the back of the front end loader, and the instant there was any pressure on the chains, they just snapped. The engine was on the front end loader. The handbrake was off. So I'd have to change that. I'd have to change the physics. Like, it's so easy for something to just bounce and launch skywards. It's not as much as it used to be, but still. So that would have to be changed. A small wheel barrel. That's a decent concept. But you'd have to. You wouldn't be able to tip it directly into the hog pan. You would literally have to wheel it over and then dig out of it. I know what I'd like to see. A mobile version of the conveyor belt and hopper, so that you can set it up on the mobile wash plant. Slightly bigger space than the mobile wash plant, just to help keep that dirt flowing. A long neck, yeah, long neck, small bucket excavator. But that would mostly deter the use of the front end loader. That's the problem with that. Not to mention the fact that people would use them in the hog pan area. Monday, you wanted to see what a single bucket gets, didn't you? I'll do that next. Now tomorrow, I am meeting up with my sister for a little bit after work. So I don't know just how much digging I'm going to be able to do tomorrow before the stream. And I'll probably schedule tomorrow's stream straight after this one. I don't normally do it that far ahead because I'm not always entirely sure what I'm going to be doing. But I think it's safe to assume that I'm still going to be in this hog pan tomorrow. Or could you imagine, like, there's a little like hand crank conveyor belt here, like, and you've got a bucket that you can bring over, you fill up like a hopper, you bring it over here and you plop it down onto the by the conveyor belt, and you sit there and you hand crank it in. Something that could hold more overall than the hog pan here. But you get to control the speed of fill up. Okay, fair enough, dude. That is the problem though, when you got a wavetable there. You're really tempted to just run each bucket through every time. Oh god, hold on. FS Living on PC. I'm just going to call you Levin, if that's okay. Welcome, dude. I am the Indie Ninja. I'll give you a hiya, but that's a preset on my videos, not not a live thing. I really should set it up. Although it does happen with a new sub, if that sub button, if that sub action works. Which is weird, 'cause it tends to work when someone subs from a video, but not from a live stream anymore. It's really strange. It's Levin. That's cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Right, hold on, hold on. This is going to be someone who subbed the other day during a live stream, but I think it was on a video. So, but this is what normally happens. Yeah. There's the hiya for you, dude. Just insert your name. If you subbed, I don't know if you did or not, but if you didn't and you decided to do it, then that's for you. Preempted. If you did, then that's for you anyway. I know the donation one works at any point, stream or otherwise, but for some reason the sub one is a bit finicky. I wonder if I can get that working. Hold on. Let's see, I've got more than 2 people watching at the moment, so that's not accurate either. No, there's nothing boring about it. GoldRush the Game is as fun to play for me as it was when I first started. The only thing it's not boring. It's just you need encouragement to do it. Like, I've started a hard mode, and that's the encouragement for me to push through and do it more. The leaderboards, the encouragement to push through and play it. And I'll occasionally, like, boredom mode, hey look, I'm bored, I want something to play, hey, I'm going to go on and jump on and do some digging, you know. It's just they need to add in more. And for a while it looked like they were going to, when they added in those little sections on each claim. That's one over there somewhere. Oh, that'd be good if you could just dump into that thing. You could set it up down in the pit. And just process each scoop, a scoop at a time. Welcome back. This is where he disappeared for like half an hour, started up a hard mode, and now he's like halfway through digging on tier 3 through halfway through Old Arnold because he's grinder. Yeah, I was looking at something else then for a second. I wouldn't put it past you, dude. I wouldn't put it past you at all. And that includes the time it takes to drill the claim as well. Oh, good. I mean, I'd heard rumours that there was something new. They'd been saying that, though, for, what, a year and a half? I know COVID slowed everything down, but... Oh, a friend request, what, on Steam? Yeah, that came through. I'm not a big chatter on Steam, though. If it's simply for leaderboard purposes, and by all means, you know. Wait, has that crosshair always been there? Yes, of course it has. I mean, just real. I don't know why. It just seems weird. It just caught my eye. But I remember indicating with it earlier. Seems new though. Like, I don't remember having it on past leaderboards or anything. Not betting on it, Mongrayson said that before. Hope for it. Yeah, we all hope for it, but hope for the best, expect the worst. At this point. Because I do know, I know for a fact that when they went on to Diesel Brothers, they dropped the team on GoldRush down to like 1 or 2 people. And I don't think they actually caught up with that again. I don't think they actually put more on there. Are you on about splitting 2? He's normally been one of their big testers. Well, if you want to as well, then Grinder. Actually, no. I think you're on the Discord, aren't you? But if not, if I am wrong and you're not on the Discord, and you wish to do so, there is a link in the description below. Most people who are playing along with me are on there. Mondre, he's going to put you to shame. He's got like a few days off, so he's going to be on Pine Valley by then. By the end of that. I will say again, guys, I am working next week Monday through Friday, and then after my Friday shift I've got 9 days off from work. If a new leaderboard decides to kick in around the beginning of that time, I will put this on a back burner and I'll take part in the leaderboards. If not, then I'll continue on with this, because work, especially with Christmas coming up and it going to get really busy, won't allow me to compete properly on a leaderboard without a decent chunk of time to put in at the beginning or so. But if there is a leaderboard, like I said, within that time frame, this has got me wanting to play that push again. You know, I was kind of burnt out on it. I go through a leaderboard and I tend to burn out quite quickly on it as a result, because obviously pushing so hard. Like, I can dig through all the good gold on Pine or Nighthawk. And what would you say, Spy? 3 streams? 2, 3 streams? Plus, you know, day side. Off camera. And then once that's done, I'm, you know, you'll see me on camera, like, or off camera finishing a claim. Then 2 days later I'm back and I'm halfway through the next claim. Yeah. I can just tear through the dirt, and it's not digging wrongly either, like not digging from the bottom upwards. It's just proper digging the way you're supposed to be digging. I mean, putting in an actual real life day's worth of digging on the leaderboard from, let's say I prepped the claim, set up the, I drilled the claim, set up the wash plant and gotten rid of overburden, right? I can easily then, from that point, if I start digging the gold at the beginning of the day, I could be done with that claim by the end. It has been known to happen. Sorry, something on my mouse mat. There we go. But then there are other days when I just procrastinate so much, and I'm sitting there and I'm doing stuff on the game, and nothing actually gets done. You know, I've spent a whole day on the game before and done 3 clean outs. That would help if I turned on the machine, wouldn't it? Is it just me, or does this seem like it's going to be 3 ounces plus from 2 buckets? 3.39. Holy crap, from 2 buckets. I must be in the hotspot. Is there an achievement for digging out the whole hog pan? I've done it before, but I can't remember if I got the achievement. Hold on. Problem with my second monitor, it's tilting a bit too much. Looked like it was going to fall. That'll do for now. It seems safe. I'll readjust it more thoroughly later. That was a lot more than 1.2. What was it? I got 3 point something. So that was about 1.7, 1.8 per bucket. It is very, very high. Kind of glad that I'm not stubbornly combining all my buckets still. Oh, I'm gonna lose like 4 ounces at midnight out of what I got so far. Three and a half, 4 ounces I'm gonna lose. How much of the area have I got left to go? Still got a nice chunk. I would say once I've done about that much, I'm halfway. So I still had the potential for getting quite a lot of money out of this overall. Then I didn't expect to get this much per bucket on hard mode. Isn't it like the deeper, the more, like with the hog pan? I think I thought about this before. The more dirt you've dug up in the hog pan, isn't it? It does seem that you get more out as a result. Is that an actual fact, or is that just dumb luck? Like a reward for actually doing the whole hog pan. Because I think when I did it in normal mode, with nuggets on, and granted you don't get too much out of the hog pan, you only get about 30 odd ounces, don't you, in nuggets. I had, after buying a couple of pieces of equipment like this, I had about 100 grand by the time I was done. Or 100 ounces. I think I'm just getting lucky. I'll tell you what, I do want to do is test something else in a little while. I'm going to wait until I've filled up this map. Nah, there's no point. I was going to test a single scoop. I was going to clean up the mats, then put one scoop through, then clean that one out and run it, but there's not much point, is there? What I would like to have is like a tier 3 worker on this. To increase the gold a bit, you can collect. I think that's what happens with the efficiency with this. But also to swap out the mats. But I'm not prepared to give up 10 grand this early on just to hire someone. I know in mind, like, I'll get a mechanic. Someone who wouldn't be, or an overseer, someone who I wouldn't be able to afford to hold on to for a while. I want to... Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm going to process this bucket through the wave table on its own. Just this one bucket before midnight. Just so I've got that extra little one that I'm able to convert. And once midnight hits, I'm going to head out to the blacksmith and get some money. Assuming I can do it in time. You know what, I need to speed this up, this last bucket, or last little bit of the bucket. Just because I like a filthy dirty mat. I must say, there is one thing I'm loving, apart from obviously the fact that it's a good sized monitor. This new monitor of mine, I am loving the fact that I can actually see. So before my, well, those who don't know, my main monitor that I gamed on broke recently. And I was stuck using the monitor that I usually chat on. Now that monitor was always brighter than the one I was gaming on. So like when it got dark on GoldRush, I couldn't see much. I had to sometimes look at OBS on the second monitor to gauge what I was doing. But this new monitor is actually brighter than what I'm looking at on my OBS preview. $1.32. Another good one. I'm only taking the hose out when it's not in use because I don't know if the fuel usage goes up if it's feeding into 2. I mean, that shouldn't be the case because it's only the suck-up power, isn't it? Well, actually, before I go anywhere, I need to check. $78 and $93. We're good. Good and golden. Yeah. No, I would like to try and complete the hog pan, even if I got enough to move up. Even if I got enough to move ahead, I would still like to complete the hog pan. Oh, that was tight. That's what she said. That way I've got a bit of extra gold in pocket, a bit of extra cash in the back pocket, in case I'm not doing very well. And obviously going to be playing the rental game. The dump truck alone is $5 grand on the rental for some strange reason. Pulling like a race car, like a rally driver. So 10 ounces, 10.5, so I'm going to lose 4.3. I'm guessing 4.2, 4.3. No, 4.15 or 1.3, something like that. 4.1 something. And the larger excavator is only 3 something. Yeah, I know, right? It's so strange. All I'm saying is it's a good job we're not using the front end loader. See if my guesstimations are on point, shall we? $3.17. Wait, I said 4.17. It's 30%, not 40. My bad. I was basing it off a 40% tax rate for some reason. I'm too used to being in in Pine Valley. But even this is what I find silly though. Even on Old Arnold, we start with a Tony Beats high end number. That'll be another 8 grand. 8, 9 grand. There is something that this game could use. You know the water splitter? The red pipe to the green pipe splitter. You need a reverse of that. Say you haven't got enough to buy yourself a big ass pump, right? But you've got a couple of the smaller ones laying around and you've just bought yourself a mobile fuel tank. That way you can combine the two smaller water pumps into filling up one tank. Or not, no, sorry. You can output a red pipe, can't you? Same concept, but with the larger scale one then. So you can output the reds into the blue. Into the big blue. Now here's a question. Should I gamble on a potential monetary source? Let's see what the pricing is. Oh crap, I've never seen this that expensive. Oh crap. Holy shit. I think that's the lowest I've ever seen it in this game. No, I have seen 1.180. 666. So devil's work. I could get them. Do you think it's worth it at this point, or wait? Do you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to hoard my money. I need to keep that money going. I'm going to need at least 20 grand. At least. Because the longer I wait, the higher the prices are going to be. And if I went ahead and got the separator and the trailer now, I'd be starting almost from scratch, needing 30 grand. I can't afford to do that. Oh, that was a nice drift. That was a real nice drift. Like a glove. Turn that one in. Surprised no one used that one as a gift during our battle, Mondre. It's going to throw me off each and every time. That was very entertaining. What what I said or the gift battle? I never saw Duck Hunt. So from my perspective, it didn't win it. But having said that, there's a lot of things that I could have done that you've never seen, that I would consider it being a how top that. I will say this though, the nostalgia that the gift. Right, so for those who don't know, me and Mondre were having a kind of GIF off on Discord. It was GIFs of TV shows and films. Because there's a year, maybe two, difference between us, and so we grew up watching a lot of the same films and shows, the ones that were done on both here and in America. So you know, we're doing it's like a conversation using GIFs. You know, the slogans match up from what the last person said and so on. But it was a GIF battle to see who could stump the other person. You know, we tried not to repeat GIFs or TV shows or films, things like that. And the nostalgia, it was from the 1980s and 1990s. The nostalgia that it brought out of me between yesterday and today, I'd watched all 3 Back to the Future films. I had the original Mario Brothers, but I never played Duck Hunt. My first console was a keyboard that you plugged into the TV and you loaded games on a cassette tape. It used to take half an hour to load the game. You would put the cassette tape in and it would have like just pixelated colours dancing over the screen, and whilst the tape was loading it would have a noise of a dial-up internet connection. When the cassette tape reached the end, after about 15 minutes, you turned it over to, it prompted you to turn it over to side 2. So you turn the cassette tape over, load side 2. If at any point it crashed during the load up, you had to start the load up from scratch. This was the Spectrum. Yeah, the old Atari. No, I had the Spectrum first. Then, what was it? Mega Drive. Then Game Boy Original. But that was around the time. Well, I don't know which one I got first. I can't recall. It was either Game Boy Original or I think PlayStation 1, because they were out roughly the same time, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong. But I got both of them anyway. Then of course PS2, PS3. My daughter's got a Wii and a Switch. But I stopped playing consoles around PS3 era. Between PS3 and PS4, I stopped. Because I realised I hadn't played on the PS3 for about 2-3 months. I'd been on the PC, and so I thought, sod it. Sold the PS3 and the games, and used the money to buy some small upgrades for the PC. Haven't looked back since. I still got a PS2 though. Some of the games back on the PS2 were fantastic. And do you know what? As much as I love playing Mario, as much as I loved playing Sonic and Pokemon, and I've always had a love, even back then, though I didn't realise it, I suppose, for simulation games. Theme Park World. The first game I got on the Game Boy was Constructor. You're literally going around building sites and doing different things with different machines. Piece of piss, you know, completed it in like 2-3 hours, returned the game claiming it didn't work, and got a refund and got something else. That's fine, Mondre. It's all good, dude. The first PC game I ever played. No, that's a lie. I'm about to say the first PC game I ever played was another sort of simulation, but it wasn't the one I'm thinking of. First games I played in order on PC was Sim City, like one of the older ones. I can't remember which version, but you just put down a square for an industrial building or a commercial building rather than assigning a zone. Sim Tower, and then big leap between those two games and this next one, but Black and White. Black and White is kind of like a Civilization Conquer game, but you are controlling your civilization as a god. Like you are a hand. You can kind of instruct them to do things, but as a god. Your powers, including magical spells and things, come from their worship. Like your mana is their worship. You perform miracles for them, like their crops aren't growing fast enough, so you miracle in a rainstorm over their crops, and they're like, wow, I love this deity. Start praying to you, and you get more powerful as a result, or your influence spreads. But then each of the other kind of villages and everything has their own god hand controlling them, and the idea is to convert all them to you or destroy them. You have you can throw like meteorites at them as well, or pick up stones and throw them, or drop them on if they're inside your influence. But if they're outside your influence, you can't do much. Your mana drops really quickly, and then you can't really do much outside of it. That was a really decent game, and you can't really get it anymore. Or it won't work on modern day PCs. It sucks. Black and White 2 was good as well. You also have like a giant creature assigned to you. Well, you can choose out of 3. I normally went for the giant cow that went around terrorizing everyone. And your hand, it starts off neutral, just looking like a normal hand. If you do only good things, your hand becomes holier looking and gets a little halo ring around the wrist. If you only do bad things, it becomes a demonic hand. There is, it's degrees of demonic or degrees of angelic. So it's not necessarily one or the other. It could be mostly good but with a little evil, or vice versa. If you're actually really good at the game, then you could just keep it neutral the entire time. I wonder if there's a way that you can emulate that game. I know it's a PC game, but it doesn't really play on PC anymore. So I wonder if there's a way that you can emulate it to allow it to play. It's like Dungeon Keeper. You can't really play Dungeon Keeper on modern day PCs. There's a new version of it on Steam. Dungeons, I think it's called. I've got Dungeons 3. But so much of the older games were good. So many of the older games, there's a lot to be said about them. I don't care if there's a 3-minute loading screen, because the games were good enough to need those screens, to load up the content. I wish these engines would tell us how much fuel they use per minute. Then I could work out whether or not I could just have this table pumping with the water. I wouldn't have to keep disconnecting the hose. So, stupid question. How do you guys know where each other is at on your gold count playing on hard mode? Discord. Yeah, it's the honor system. There's if you're not on the Discord channel already and you wish to join up onto it, there is a link in the description below. Obviously you guys see what I'm doing, or you see what I've done. I reckon that's something else they can add to the game. An ability to make your own private leaderboard. Like no prize for winning it or anything, but just something to do between friends. Like, not have to actually wait for the actual leaderboards. Just be able to do what you want with it when you want with it. Set up whatever mode you'd like. Yeah. There's no yeah. You're right. It's not a race. It's not for bragging rights. It's a chill out, relax. Hey, look, I've done that too. Encouraging each other. Hard mode is a grind. Hard mode is going to be a massive, massive grind. So we're all doing it together and sort of kind of supporting each other through it, pushing each other to do it. You know. Exactly. You got it right there, dude. Just to hang out and have fun. That's how me and Spy were. That's how me and Spy got our leaderboard rivalry up and running. It's like the first season, me and Spy were decent competition for each other. It was literally one day I'd be ahead, next day he'd be ahead. And it was a constant back and forth daily. And it made it so much fun. It really did. And that's how Spy come to be a part of the channel. You was battling with Monday last season. What, in the same context? Nice, dude, nice. See, this is starting to feel like, you know when Splitting 2 had his window lickers all up the leaderboards? This is starting to feel like it could turn into something like that, you know? Everyone in this channel, just if we all done it on a leaderboard and we all just dominate the leaderboard, the top 10. Doesn't matter who beats who in the top 10 as long as we all dominate it. Sorry, a little bit of a cough there. That's actually quite a chunk I've taken out of this stream. I'd say I'm basically, if I level this section out here, then I'd say that's halfway, half the hog pound. That's the thing, when you're sitting there grinding away at home, you're like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm watching something whilst I'm doing this, but I'm doing this, it just seems like it's taking forever, right? But I'm sitting here chatting with you guys, and I feel like I've just shredded this corner over here. Like, I didn't think I put that much through. Oh my god, guys, how would that be, right? Instead of showing my game, right? It would be really difficult on the hardware. It would be so difficult to keep a decent stream going, like a good frame rate and everything on the stream. But if we jumped into a stream share call with like 3 of you guys and just showed all 4 of us digging. Oh, 2 secs, guys. Sorry, that was my daughter. Yeah, on the most part, the GoldRush community is pretty good. Give each other a hard time, but in a good way. I mean, there's a couple. I always used to think, it's been proven that he doesn't now, I believe. But with the suddenness that Aru used to put gold suddenly through, like in the leaderboard, in a day he had like 20 grand or 20,000 ounces or something stupid like that within a day of playing the game. I used to think he was cheating because of that sort of thing. Apparently, I swear it got proven that he doesn't cheat, and that's fair enough. Digception with the 4-way. No, because that would be like you're looking at my one, and then you would, I don't know, I'd open up a patch of dirt and there'll be the next one. You know, it's more of a conference call. But I get the idea you put into that. Was quite good, dude. I'll give you that. I don't like many films with Leo in it, but that is one of the few that I do like. Was Inception. So you hit the nail on the head with that one with me, dude. it, like I said, it would be really hard on PCs, even good ones. Not to mention the fact that if, say, you're watching it on a phone, you're looking at 1/4 of the screen per person. Better have a big phone then. Well, I do nowadays, don't you? I like the fact that phones were really, really, really big, right, when they first come out. Yeah, you know, when it was just texting and maybe like a pixelized game like Snake. Then they started getting smaller and smaller with flip phones. And now that people's pockets are so tiny, the phones are humongous. You want to see a big phone? Look up Trigger Happy TV. I don't know that one, I don't think. Oh, did you look it up? I think I might be hitting the outer edge of that hot pocket. Oh no, no, maybe not. 2.6 would be what I've been averaging. I take it you just looked up a still picture. Basically, he used to go to a crowded area, right? And then, you know how... You know that obnoxious Nokia ringtone? That one. Well, he'd get that noise to play really loudly in a crowded area. Sometimes it would be out on the streets, other times in a library or in a restaurant, you know. Then he'd get out that massive phone, stick it to his head, and he's like, start shouting, "Hello! What? I can't hear you. No, I'm at the library. No, it's crap. It used to be quite amusing. It was a lot, yeah. You yeah, you looked it up on YouTube. The first one you found, and it was in the library. Oh, I tell you what, right? I was reading a book the other day, and there was a single word that I come across in this book as I was reading. When I hit this single word, it sparked a memory instantly, like an instant, not just a memory of a TV show I watched as a kid, but instantly I remembered the theme song. I remembered the toy of it I used to have. This is when I was about 4 years old. I remembered some episodes, like fragments of them. The theme song, all of that in an instant. That was bizarre. And 2 days ago, I decided, you know what, I'm going to look one up. Just for old time's sake. And it was a randomly picked one. And the second I was like 10 seconds into the episode, I knew the episode. I knew the whole episode, everything that was going to happen. This is like 32 years ago. I hate that glitch. And it's such a weird word as well. Yeah, it's weird how our brains work sometimes. Good memory. We're gonna make some chow. Got your Discord now. Thanks for the invite, Indy. Until next time, you'll have a good... Yeah, catch you later, dude. I will be back on this tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you around the Discord. Have a good night, dude. I'm only going to be going for another 15 minutes or so. I didn't even realise it was that late. I thought I still had like 30, 45 minutes, something like that. Well, time for you to hit the hay, almost 12 PM, and have to wake up at 5. That's fine, dude. That's absolutely fine. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck with your digging. And I'll see you tomorrow as well, hopefully. I'll try and push for 2 buckets, guys. I don't know. It depends on how long it takes me to fill this one up. So I'm basically 50% and the time is 46. It looks like I've done about... No, it can't be right. It must not have been dead on the 46, because it looks like it's gone up to 47 and I've done about 10 scoops. I'm not doing... It's not taking me 10 seconds per scoop. 1, 2, 3... See? That's a waste of time on that one. I reckon at this rate, in an in-game day, I could maybe average 10 ounces. My aim was a bit off on that one, wasn't it? Uh, 49, so in 2 minutes I've done about 30%. That's a bit better. So yeah, I think I might be able to make it. I'll do a second bucket before I quit off the stream, even if it does hit just a little bit past 11. It's all good. And in theory, it shouldn't even be 10 AM. Well, no, it will be past 10 AM, I think. But it won't even be midday, and I'll have half of what I had in the yesterday's clean out. In theory. Would help, wouldn't it? So that took me about 5 minutes. Five minutes for about 50%. 10 minutes a run, roughly. How's that for progress though, guys? Holy crap, I put so much of this through today. When this was all sitting at a right angle. Spide, you said you've started putting tier 2 through, yeah? From facing this direction, are you starting on the left hand side or the right? Dirt is finishing fast, soon a hog pan is out of dirt. Nah, look. See? There's always dirt. For a while anyway. I think I'm going to be digging on the left. I'm going to set up on the left, it's less of a slope. I'm just going to go from here now. I don't know if this is going to make it worse or not. But I'm just trying to get that last bucket sorted. You just have a very cheap setup, you need more money. I would imagine that being the case with us all. But I'm going for the good power solution straight off the bat, because it'll make life easier. Water, I don't know. I might have to run off a couple of these pumps for a little while. But because I intend on having a stationary mobile generator, mobile wash plants, I might be able to do it. That's not even the thing, is it? That's the one I mean. If I've got enough to buy the mobile water tank, I will. If not, I'll buy a second one of these. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Although I do believe one is enough to power two, isn't it? I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably need a second one anyway because cleanouts. Got the one cheap water pump. It works because the water tank is 10 grand. Well, it is like less than a minute away from 11. I'm at 70% full, so it won't take much longer. Won't take long to get more money when you're out the hog pan. Understandable. Sorry guys, I couldn't stifle that. That yawn kind of came out of nowhere. I think I just realised something. Hold on. Yeah, because we're changing up the streaming routine, I'm going to be live streaming on my birthday. Usually, my birthday's going to be on a Wednesday, and obviously that's changing up now, isn't it? It used to be my day off. Dude, yawn away, no worries. I just don't want to get you guys yawning. a transatlantic yawn. Skip that one across the pond. Almost there. So let's see if digging that in half of that bucket in a different section made any difference. International yawning. Virus strikes again. Oh dear. Believe it or not, dude, you've seen me. You've been on a stream when I've had a few drinks. You just not realised it. I'm very sneaky about it. Every time someone says happy birthday or shovel, we've got to take a shot. Oh dear. I drink Jim Beam at the moment anyway. Bourbon. $2.6 made no difference. And look at that, not even midday. Told you. Ugh. Alright then, guys. It's been a fun stream. Sorry, I'm a bit tired now. That yawn just made it all crash down on me. You have a Jim Beam ready then. It's not next week. It's the week after. That's why I've got the week off. Well, that and the fact that I take a week off from work every 3 months anyway. It just happens, doing it the way I do it makes it coincide not only with my birthday but my daughter's as well. So, but anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to rate and comment below. $130 proof. Screw that noise. Screw. Dude, that's worse than medical. Oh. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a good night. Stay safe. Sleep well. Happy digging. Goodbye.